Hey everybody, it's Tony from Appalachian Dual Sport, and I'm here in beautiful Pearisburg, Virginia, and at Gearhead Junction, and I'm going to take a 2019 SWM Super Dual for a test ride. They're over there getting it prepped. They just put a new sprocket on it. I didn't expect to go on a test drive today, but he offered, so I'm going to give it a go and see how it feels. Unfortunately, I won't be able to get any footage of me riding it because I don't have a GoPro or anything. So I'll just give you a couple impressions after I'm done. It's a great looking bike. It's in the this is the T model, so it's more of the Supermoto-esque setup on it with the smaller wheels than the X version. So they didn't have any X's. They do have a couple 500 RS's in stock. So let's just go inside real quick and take a look. There's all their bikes. They have a couple Royal Enfields out for a test drive. They got their workshop in the back and their storage in the back. Okay, so I just got done with my test drive of that Super Dual, and I spent a significant amount of time with the owner of the Gearhead Junction. His name is Terry Rafferty. What a great guy. If you ever want to meet a motorcycle shop owner who is genuine and is going to spend a lot of time with you talking about the details of the bike, the pros and cons and everything, this guy was hands down one of the best motorcycle shop owners I've ever met in my life. Really cool guy. He's got a lot of rallies and other stuff in the works for the future. A lot of rides being organized out of his shop. They do some neat stuff on Fridays with music and things like that. So it's definitely worth checking out his shop and his Facebook page and everything. So just check him out. Super cool guy. He seemed like he was more interested in making sure that somebody had the right information about a bike, and not just selling the bike, but making sure that the bike, whatever bike they were looking at, was the right bike for them. So anyway, back to my thoughts about the Super Dual. Okay, so I didn't take it for a long ride. I just kind of tooled around the city streets here and then got it up on a little county highway. Was able to wrap it out a little bit. Didn't do anything extreme, so these are just completely initial impressions of the bike. But what I liked about the bike was it did feel nimble and slim. I didn't feel like I was sitting on a big, heavy, fat tank. Kind of like the feeling I get when I sit on a KLR 650 is like I feel like I'm sitting on a big, heavy thing, big, heavy, wide thing. But this bike, it's not like that at all. The seat's really nice. The tank doesn't really interfere with my seating position or anything. All the controls are very similar to my TE450 that I already have, my Husqvarna TE450. Very similar controls and dash. The bike, to me, seemed like it was, Terry told me that they had re-geared it, so I don't know if this is how it would be from the factory, but to me, it didn't seem like it had a ton of low-end grunt, but that could be because of the gearing they put on it. And it also seemed mostly kind of a mid-range motor. It seemed to go a little flat on top. However, that being said, it did get me to like 60 miles an hour in no time flat. I mean, it wrapped out, and you know, shifting it was smooth and nice. The brakes, the Brembo brakes on it are really nice. The front fork was a little soft because I would get a little bit diving under hard braking. So there was that. The engine was smooth. I didn't really feel a lot of vibration. So again, these are initial impressions. I did try to lug the engine down low like I was in a industrial park, and I took it up some grass banks and stuff, and I was trying to get it to lug as low as it would go, and to see if I could like crawl along, let's just say a single track trail, and just super low speed crawling. And I don't think the way it was geared, I don't think it was good for that type of riding. It seemed slightly jerky on the throttle response. Again, Terry told me that they had remapped the bike with a non-stock map, and that again they changed the gearing. and I think they went a little taller because this model was meant for the street mostly. It had didn't really have, I'd say 90-10 type tires on it, 90% street. But otherwise, I mean, the bike looked beautiful, beautiful looking bike, nimble feeling bike, great brakes. I do like the engine. I did like when I got it up to about 77 or 80, maybe even, on this little county highway here, and it was smooth, and I felt like it still had some juice to go. Like, I don't know how fast it would have topped out at, because I wasn't about to do that. But even at 77 or 80 or whatever I was doing, it was pretty smooth, and has a small windshield on it, so there wasn't a lot of wind buffeting going on. It was cold as balls today, so I wasn't going to be out long, bombing along at 75 miles an hour, freezing my kashtikish off. But anyway, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed riding it, and I would definitely look forward to riding this bike more and trying to figure out if it would be a bike for me. My main comparison is a Suzuki DR650 as to what I have some significant seat time in, and to me, the DR, at least the one I had a couple mods to it, you know, rejetted, new pipe, and extended range fuel tank, IMS tank on it. But my Suzuki seemed to have a little more low-end grunt and could crawl at lower speeds better, maybe. But otherwise, you know, the Suzuki wasn't as smooth, obviously, and it's definitely not as powerful as the SWM. So, and doesn't look nearly as good, obviously. Doesn't have ABS. My Suzuki didn't have ABS or any of these advanced features. So, anyway, take it for what it is. Those are my initial impressions. Gearhead Junction in Pearisburg, Virginia is definitely a place worth checking out, and Terry is a great guy. And so if you want to do some cool rides in this West Virginia, come check him out. All right, later.